Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Wednesday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. And if you guys like betting on MLB player props, you already know, go ahead and sign up with Parlay Play in the link below. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Pretty busy slate today. 15 matchups, starting with the New York Mets versus the Houston Astros. Astros opening up as home favorites at -135. The Mets +115 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Mets is Carlos Carrasco with an ERA of 3.84. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Pitching for the Astros is Luis Garcia with an ERA of 3.41. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run and had 9 strikeouts. The Mets losing to Houston yesterday, 8-2. Not a very good performance from them yesterday. The Mets 0-7 on the road against the Astros. 1-4 against the Astros. So they've struggled against Houston, especially on the road where they've been horrible. Carrasco's, giving up 10 runs in his last 3 starts here. I think I'm going to roll with the Astros at home. Played good yesterday. The Mets are horrible on the road against Houston. I'm taking the Astros at home. Next matchup, we have the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Chicago White Sox. Toronto opening up as road favorites at -125. Chicago +105 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for Toronto is Ross Stripling with an ERA of 3.28. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the White Sox is Lucas Giolito with an ERA of 4.78. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 8 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Toronto on a 2-game losing streak against the White Sox, losing 7-6 yesterday. Back-to-back 1-run performances. 1-run losses in these matchups. Been super tight. Stripling's been very good. It's only allowed 2 runs in his last 3 starts. Giolito has given up 14 runs in his last 3 starts. Hasn't played very well so far, especially during this 3-game stretch here. I'm just not in love with Toronto. Chicago's been pretty good the last 2 games, getting 2 wins. I think I'm going to take the White Sox +1.5 at home. They've looked well in this series. I think Giolito has a better performance on the mound today, so I'm going to take the White Sox +1.5 at home. Next matchup, we have the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Texas Rangers. Phillies opening up as road favorites at -135. The Rangers +115 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Phillies is Zach Wheeler with an ERA of 2.69. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Rangers is John Gray with an ERA of 4.27. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 6 strikeouts. The Phillies losing 7-0 yesterday against the Rangers. Big win for the Rangers. Phillies, they're 0-6 on the road against the Rangers, and they're on an 8-game losing streak against the Rangers. For some reason, they just really do struggle against Texas. It showed yesterday. I'm going to take the Rangers +1.5 at home. Played very well yesterday. Pretty even pitching matchup. And I'm going to take the Rangers +1.5 at home. Next matchup, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the San Diego Padres. Padres opening up as home favorites at -165. Arizona +140 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for Arizona is Madison Bumgarner with an ERA of 3.45. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Padres is Mike Clevinger with an ERA of 3.79. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 5 strikeouts. Arizona losing back-to-back games against the Padres, losing 2-3 and then 1-4. Arizona 0-5 against San Diego right now, where they just haven't been able to beat the Padres. Pretty even pitching matchup. I like the Padres at home. They played very well in this series so far. I'm going to take the Padres at home. Next matchup, we have the Colorado Rockies versus the Miami Marlins. Miami opening up as home favorites at -200. Colorado +170 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Rockies is Chad Kuhl with an ERA of 3.69. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Pitching for the Marlins is Pablo Lopez with an ERA of 2.97. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, and had 5 strikeouts. Colorado losing to Miami yesterday 9-8. Pretty close matchup, high scoring matchup. Pretty even pitching matchup here. And to lay -200 on Miami, man, that's just very pricey considering they only won by 1 run yesterday. Could have easily lost. I'm just not sold on the Marlins at -200. That's just too risky for me. I'm going to take another shot with the Rockies +1.5 on the road. All right, next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers versus Cincinnati Reds. Dodgers opening up as road favorites at -180. The Reds +150 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Dodgers is Tyler Anderson with an ERA of 2.82. His last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 8 strikeouts. Pitching for the Reds is Luis Castillo with an ERA of 3.33. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 6 strikeouts. The Dodgers coming off an 8-2 win yesterday against the Reds, where they played very well. They're on a 7-game winning streak against Cincinnati, 4-1 on the road against the Reds. And yeah, I like the Dodgers on the road here. Been dominant against the Reds here, and yeah, we're rolling with the Dodgers on the road. Next matchup, we have the Chicago Cubs versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Both teams in a pick'em scenario at -110 with the over-under at 9. Pitching for the Cubs is Keegan Thompson with an ERA of 3.27. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 9 strikeouts. Pitching for the Pirates is Gerard Eickhoff with an ERA of 0. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 10 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. He actually hasn't pitched this season. This was last season, so he's getting his first start of the season here. Cubs on a 2-game losing streak against the Pirates here, losing 7-1 and then 12-1. They've been horrible these last 2 games. 0-7 on the road. Keegan Thompson coming off a game where he gave up no runs, which is his probably best start of the season on the mound. Not in love with Eickhoff on the mound for the Pirates. Last season, gave up a lot of runs in his starts. I really don't like this matchup here. I'm going to take a shot with the Cubs +1.5 on the road. I know they've been horrible here, but I just don't trust Eickhoff on the mound for the Pirates in his debut. So I'm going to take the Cubs +1.5. Next matchup, we have the Washington Nationals versus the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore opening up as home favorites at -145. The Nationals +125 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Nationals is Patrick Corbin with an ERA of 6.59. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 2 strikeouts. Pitching for the Orioles is Tyler Wells with an ERA of 3.62. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts. Washington on a 2-game winning streak against Baltimore. One-game winning streak. They beat Baltimore yesterday 3-0. Washington 6-12 on the road, where they do struggle. Not really in love with this matchup. Orioles just did not show up yesterday. I'm going to take a shot with the Nationals plus 1.5 on the road. Not really in love with this matchup. And to really trust the Orioles at minus 150. Not in love with that at all here. So we'll take the Nationals plus 1.5. Next matchup, we have the Detroit Tigers versus the Boston Red Sox. Boston opening up as home favorites at minus 150. Detroit plus 135 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Tigers is Tariq Skubal with an ERA of 2.89. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Red Sox is Michael Wacha with an ERA of 2.28. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 5 strikeouts. Yeah, Detroit on a 2-game losing streak against Boston. Boston playing pretty good in this series so far. Detroit just 1-6 on the road against Boston, where they've struggled. And then Skubal's had a rough few games here. He's given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts. Not really in love with that. And I'm going to take the Red Sox at home here. Next matchup, we have the New York Yankees versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Yankees opening up as road favorites at minus 145. The Rays plus 125 with the over-under at 7. Pitching for the Yankees is Jordan Montgomery with an ERA of 2.72. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Rays is Shane Baz with an ERA of 5.40. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Yankees losing to Tampa Bay yesterday, 4-5. Tough matchup for them. Definitely a close loss for them. Yankees are 17-3 in their last 20. I mean, they've been on fire. Do like Montgomery on the mound. I like the Yankees coming off a close loss yesterday. I think the Yankees bounce back here. I'm rolling with New York on the road. Next matchup, we have the San Francisco Giants versus the Atlanta Braves. Braves opening up as home favorites at minus 125. The Giants plus 105 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Giants is Carlos Rodon with an ERA of 2.84. His last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Pitching for the Braves is Charlie Morton with an ERA of 5.08. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 9 strikeouts. Giants beating the Braves yesterday in a scoring battle, 12-10. Love Rodon on the mound, coming off 2 back-to-back games, giving up no runs. Take Giants plus 1.5 on the road. Do favor Rodon in this matchup over Morton. So yeah, we'll take Giants plus 1.5. Next matchup, we have the Cleveland Guardians versus the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota opening up as home favorites at minus 150. Cleveland plus 130 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for Cleveland is Tristan McKenzie with an ERA of 2.96. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 6 strikeouts. Pitching for the Twins is Sonny Gray with an ERA of 2.09. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Yeah, Sonny Gray's looked very good. He's only given up 1 run in his last 3 starts on the mound. Cleveland, though, winning against Minnesota yesterday, 6-5. We know they're 6-13 on the road against Minnesota, where they have struggled here. I like Minnesota to bounce back coming off a close loss yesterday. Love Sonny Gray on the mound. He's been awesome for the Twins in his last few starts here. I'm taking the Twins at home. Next matchup, we have the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Cardinals opening up as home or road favorites at -115. The Brewers -105 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Cardinals is Adam Wainwright with an ERA of 3.06. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Brewers is Eric Lauer with an ERA of 3.57. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. St. Louis beating the Brewers yesterday 6-2. Both teams getting a win so far in this series. St. Louis, they are 7-3 on the road against the Brewers. It's kind of going to be a flip-flop matchup here. And I think I'm going to take the Brewers plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we have the Seattle Mariners versus the Oakland Athletics. Seattle opening up as road favorites at -135. Oakland plus 115 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Mariners is George Kirby with an ERA of 3.56. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Pitching for Oakland is Paul Blackburn with an ERA of 2.26. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 4 strikeouts. Seattle beating Oakland yesterday 8-2. Big win for them. They're 7-0 on the road against Oakland. 14-2 straight up against Oakland, where they've played very well. Oakland just 0-7 at home against Seattle. 1-9 at home right now. They have not been playing very well. I'm going to take Seattle on the road. Coming off a great game yesterday, Oakland struggled big time at home against Seattle. I'm taking the Mariners on the road. And then the last matchup, we have the Kansas City Royals versus the Los Angeles Angels. Angels opening up as home favorites at -235. The Royals plus 190 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Royals is Daniel Lynch with an ERA of 5.19. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 10 strikeouts. Pitching for the Angels is Shohei Ohtani with an ERA of 3.28. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Kansas City coming off back-to-back wins against the Angels, winning 12-11 and then 6-2. I think that changes today with Ohtani on the mound. Coming off a game where he did not allow a run. Lynch hasn't been that amazing on the mound here. I think Ohtani on the mound gets it done for the Angels. I'm taking the Angels at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Wednesday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.